Yankees and the Orioles today. Luis Severino going for the Yankees and Bradish for Baltimore. Yankees $1.85 road favorite. Total is 8 in this one. Shaded to the under at minus 120. Base winner, go ahead and be our leadoff hitter today.
Yeah, I think that I'm not going to overthink. There's two games on the card where my line is real. There's a real difference between the base winner line and the actual market line. And so what I decided to do, because they're both games where you have to lay a sizable price. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in a parlay, and this is the parlay game number 1. And I'm going to go with the Yankees minus 178 and the Dodgers minus 230. It pays plus 119. The parlay, you got to hit both games. But again, I mean, this is one of those things where I'm not going to overthink it. I've got the second with this Yankees Baltimore game. I've got the second best offense by my ratings, 116 weighted runs created plus for the Yankees versus the worst offense in baseball. And I think that maybe some baseball hipsters could argue that they're not the worst, but I don't think that they could say that they're in the top 20 by any means. So you've got the second best offense versus the worst offense. Pitching wise, I'm still pretty high on Severino. Bradish has looked decent in his outings. If you look at the stuff plus, Bradish has pretty good stuff, 66% stuff plus, but Severino stuff plus 76%. And then if you want to take a look at the bullpens here, I think that this is a pretty good opportunity to grab a New York bullpen who I'm in love with. I've been in love with them all year, and by the metrics, they're 5th in baseball. So it kind of crashes me down a little bit because there's 4 teams ahead of them by my 3-metric chart, but I'm still really high on them. They still have the 3rd best bullpen stuff in baseball. And for all those reasons, that's why I like the Yankees here. And I guess we'll talk about the second half of that parlay, the Dodgers, when we go down to that game, TC.
Okay. Jeff?
Hey, TC, do me a favor. What's the price in this game on the Yankees?
Let me get that
185,
up.
Mark.
185, right.
This number opened 230 down to 185 on a Monday. You have the Yankees playing the Orioles. We know how good the Yankees are. The question I have is, why is this line plummeting? I mean, that does not make sense, and that's concerning. When you look at these games, I think the only thing, and look, Mark makes a lot of great points, as always. But in these kind of games, you have a very good team against a, on the surface, very poor team. The only thing that I want to know is, okay, the number that I have, 180, did that come up from 160 or something like that? The fact that this has plummeted about 50 cents is very concerning, especially on a Monday where, again, you have teams that had like a long travel schedule or they, that White Sox series, they played well, did lose finally, but you got to travel in. And look, let me just kind of make a little case for Baltimore. I'm not going to say that I think they're going to win because they're very hard to bet full game. And if I'm ever going to bet Baltimore, I might be looking at a first 5 play. Bradish, as Mark mentioned, has not been that bad, quite honestly. And I know we kind of just assume that Baltimore's bullpen sucks. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't suck. I mean, it's been actually okay. It's not the Yankees. The Yankees are significantly better than any team bullpen-wise. But this is not a bad bullpen, quite frankly. They do a decent job of keeping people off base. They do a good job at when they have a lead, hopefully keeping it. But if I'm going to back the Orioles, it's at home and it's in this kind of spot, especially with the line plummeting. I might take a little piece of Baltimore tonight, just being honest.
Well, the sharp money has come in on Baltimore basically for the reason of Bradish, because his last start was very good. Now, this isn't a guy that's a reliever that's going to give you 3 or 4 innings. This guy went 7 innings against the Cardinals, 5 days ago. Gave up 4 hits, 2 earned runs, struck out 11. And has very good control, did not walk a hitter. So I think a lot of that is based on Bradish's last start and the Oriole lineup. Remember, this is not the same Oriole team that we saw the first 2 weeks of the season. I mean, Trey Mancini's hitting. They're getting some good production at the plate
and
here,
remember,
too. And what's that?
Real quick, remember, just to point out, when you have a team like the Reds or Arizona or Colorado, teams like that, they may have a lead, let's say 6-4. And you got to worry. This bullpen is a lot better than
you're right.
Than those types of teams.
You're right. So. And the thing is, Severino, he's 6-1 career-wise against the Orioles. But as we know, Severino's still working his way, back into things. So I think people are thinking like you're thinking here, and that the reason why the line has plummeted a little bit. Hey, I'm getting a good pitcher. I'm getting an improving offense, a decent bullpen. Let's take a shot here, and maybe the Yankees have a little bit of a letdown coming off that series victory against the White Sox where they won 3 out of 4. I think that's where that lies. So, but at any rate, BaseWinner, we're going to lock him in for the Yankees. But remember, he's going to use this as part of a parlay with the Dodgers that we'll talk about a little bit later on. But there we go. One of the few parlays that we get here. But BaseWinner's done this before, taking a couple $2 favorites and then come back and basically get even money or a little bit of plus money on the other side, depending on what number you get here on these games. All right.